All right, so this next video is about sending invitations to our events. So I will send you each week, I'll send you, here are the events that are posted, and here's how many invitations should go out. So right now, when I look at events, we have 3. They are all related. It's the same, it's a series. So this first event is just 1/3 of the book that we're doing in this book club, and then we're doing 2 other book clubs to finish it up. So this one's a little bit different. What I'm going to do is actually pull the list of people who have registered for this, and I want to make sure that invitations go out to them for these 2. So to pull that, I go here and I go to manage attendees, and I can pull download registration details. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to give me an Excel document. You can figure out where you want to save these on your system, but I'm going to save them under the book club. Okay, so this list has pulled up, and what I can see here is, here's the first and last name, and that's what you're going to need to find these individuals and invite them to the other events. So let me half screen this. Okay, so these are the ones who have registered for this event. So of course, we're not going to invite them to this event. They've already been invited. What I'm going to do is go back to the list, and I'm going to click this one. And to invite, you go to the blue share button and invite. And so now here, I'm going to be adding these individuals. And what you'll see is when I start to type their name, they show up. So you don't have to type the whole thing. You click here, and then you go to the next one. Okay, so in this case, when I typed Beth, there's a number of Beths. But what I'm going to do, because I could narrow it down and just invite the one that's listed here, or I can go ahead and say, okay, these people look good to add. So I'm just going to click through. So you can see these are healthcare related, and I'm not being picky. I'm doing a quick perusal. And if I see something that looks fine, then I just click it fast. Founder means nothing to me. I'm not going to invite them. You can see all of these. So there's Inspira Health, there's inklings here that they're in healthcare. And as you do this, the more often you do it, the quicker you'll be able to go through the list. So PMP is project manager, so that's not one that I would want. Again, it doesn't matter if they got the invitation, but it wouldn't be my first choice. There's a lot of Beths. Okay, so that's all of them. And then I'm just going to make sure. See, choosing that list. So as I've clicked through, we've gotten to 45. I think I told you this the other day. LinkedIn can be glitchy. So though we have 1,000 invitations we can send a week, what I find is if I send too many at once, LinkedIn it'll error out. And so all of that work we just did, you would have to redo. Drives me crazy. So I do it in small batches. So however you want to do this, maybe you want to make sure you always have 15 a batch. And so you're going to go to the next person. So now we're at 48. Okay, so there's 50. So maybe you're going to send off a batch of 50 and make note of that. So there's 50 that go off. See, it glitched. Oh, this drives me nuts. So when it glitches, then you kind of have to back out and try again. Okay, so it took the 22. And then you start again. So I would do, if you're going to do batches, or do 25 and not worry about it. Now, what we don't know is some of these names may not have gotten picked in that. That's okay. Don't worry about that. It doesn't have to be perfect. But anyhow, so that's what you'd be doing. You'd go through this list, you'd send the invitations. And in this case, because it's a session, it's 3 sessions, you would do the same thing with the other one. So if I go back, I can pick the 3rd session. I hit share, invite, and then if I do the search by name again, so there you can invite those same people that you just sent to the second one. So you'd go through this full list, and I'll do that after I finish recording here. The other way to invite people is, because this is pulling from my connection list. So my connections are almost 15,000 people out here right now. So this list goes on and on and on. So we're just going to be pulling or inviting anybody. But what I tend to do, because if I just always start from the top, then you're always just sending invitations to that same list of people. And we want to vary it. So what I tend to do is go up here and I just start typing in a name. So if I start with G, that works for me. And now I can go through and just invite anybody who, again, upon quick review, looks good. And again, don't get hung up on if you pick somebody that I wouldn't have picked. It doesn't matter. You can see here's physician, so I'm picking it. Healthcare executive, chief financial, clinician burnout. So I'm just looking for healthcare type people. And what I'll tend to do is for some of the events, there might be a specific type of person I'm looking for. And so then you'd be looking for that word, whether it's nurse or something else. But for this one, we're just looking for anybody who's kind of within healthcare. And so we're just going through that list. And so then I'd send that batch again. Oh, geez. So it's being really glitchy right now. And it may be that Taylor, the gal that you're replacing, is in there doing invitations at the same time. So that might be what's going on. It tends to not be that glitchy. I'm sure that there's something going on with her sending invitations at the same time. So that's how you go send invites. Very often I will provide you a list of people. So we've got a tracking list of people who have attended prior events. And because they've registered or attended, we might purposely invite them first. So I would just send you a Excel list such as this. If I haven't already done so, you can come in here and filter by, because it's easier than to filter by name, so that if you see 3 Angelas, you can make sure that all of those Angelas were invited at one time. If you have any questions about this, let me know, but that should be fairly upfront in regards to what to do. You will hit the limit. So those glitches, the errors we're getting, that's an error message. That's something in their system. When you've run out of invitations, it will tell you that. So I will tend to, when I send you the list of events and how many invitations to send out, I typically try to use all 1,000 invitations that we have available. And so in this case, with 3 events, I'm likely to say send 250 to the first one because it's coming up pretty soon, 500 to the next one, and 250 to the following. So then you know how to spread it out in here. Okay, so that should give you how to do the invitations.